Yeah.
So I have gotten so tired of modern trailers. Every stinking trailer I have seen lately, where it's a beloved franchise, they did this for Jurassic Park. They
Mhm.
did this for the 2016 Ghostbusters. They did this for Mario Brothers. They did this for Indy 5.
I think they
They,
did it for Star Wars. Yeah.
yeah. You start the trailer with like a few establishing shots as they are slowly playing the beloved theme of the movie on the top end of the piano where it barely makes a sound.
Yeah.
Ding, ding,
Ding,
ding,
ding.
ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a trend that needs to stop.
Yes, I miss In a World. I
Yes,
miss
I do. Yeah.
uh, I miss the trailers leaving things out, but giving you an idea of what the movie was about.
Hmm. I'm actually one of those people who really likes the old timey trailers. From like the 40s and 50s, like Humphrey Beauregard as Rick. Rick, what was his last? Casablanca.
As Captain Casablanca.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or Clark Gable is in the seafaring, and the captain and Run Silent, Run Deep. Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
those. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, where they would actually assume like they would just tell you things.
yeah, yeah. But yeah. So the new trailer for Super Mario Brothers dropped yesterday,
Yep.
and we have some thoughts about it.
Yes. So when the first trailer came out, I was like, okay, we didn't hear a lot of Chris Pratt as Mario, so we
Hmm.
can't. I don't want to judge just based on a line.
Right.
And the first trailer treated Bowser like a really serious threat, which I was not expecting. I thought he was going to be a totally goofball.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I have a little bit of hope here.
Hmm.
That hope is significantly diminished after seeing the second trailer.
Uh, yeah. Oh, Ninja Toast is better than the Zimmerman noise. Yeah, the blah.
Yeah, it's yeah,
Yeah,
it, it, yeah. I guess that's good that that phase is finally dying in trailers.
yeah. But yeah, so I guess we could start like, with guys start from the beginning of the trailer, which of course shows Mario
By the way,
getting.
we aren't showing the trailer because
Yeah,
YouTube is always a Nazi to us whenever we try to show that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was yeah. We What was the one trailer we showed? I can't. Oh, it was She-Hulk.
Yes.
Yeah, we showed She-Hulk, and then we got throttled, and then we're like, well, let's try it again. Let's show the first Super Mario trailer, and we got throttled again. So
Yeah.
it's a fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So the trailer starts off with Mario getting beaten up by Donkey Kong, which I was not expecting.
No. Um,
Uh,
and so let's talk positives.
okay.
Bowser is still cool. Like
Hmm.
Jack Black is really loving the role as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
The animation looks good, though I have problems with the style.
Hmm.
Like Princess Peach in some of the shots, like that looks all right, but at this particular angle, you just realize, holy crap, her head is bigger than her torso.
Yeah. Yeah. She looks like a doll.
Yeah, and it's not like, oops, let me just copy the right thing here. It's not like this is unusual for CGI movies
Hmm.
necessarily. Like if we pull up Tangled, which is the first one that comes to mind, Rapunzel is a little bit of a bobblehead, but
Hmm.
not to this extent.
Yeah. And yeah, of course the movie's been it's done by Illumination, and it's the same people that did the Despicable Me movies,
Hmm.
um, the Angry Birds movies.
Which
Yeah,
hot
so
take: the first Angry Birds movie is actually surprisingly good.
hmm
You can also read it as a critique of immigration to Europe, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I thought was an interesting reading. And once I actually saw it, like, yeah, that actually, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, yeah. And the voice of the Redbird is Ted Lasso.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I think that with this style, I know they're obviously trying to be faithful to the video games,
Hmm.
especially the N64, because that's kind of what I'm getting. The vibe I'm kind of getting from it is the N64 version of the characters. And yeah, it's yeah.
And what's interesting is that I think you described it as the kitchen sink approach to Mario references.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
so you've got Donkey Kong basically looking like he did in the Rare games.
Hmm.
You've got, and I almost they had some sort of King Kong, not like King Kong, but there's some sort of like ruler Kong setting. Like I got the impression that the fight they had there between Donkey Kong and Mario is meant to be like a challenge of champions thing, whatever,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the Monkey
that's
Kingdom.
yeah, yeah.
And I almost like, wait, is that Cranky? It's probably not Cranky, but I wish it was Cranky
Yeah.
because that would be great.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but the big change seems to be that and the other things like there's level design elements from Super Mario Brothers 3 and World that he has to navigate through. It's a
Hmm.
world with a lot of oddly linear platform sections.
Yeah. Yeah, doesn't he does the whatever it was not a fox, but he turns into like the flying squirrel or whatever.
Oh, the Tanuki or no?
Tanuki. Yeah, yeah,
Or,
yeah.
and yeah, there's Mario Kart in the film. I was not expecting to see Rainbow
Yeah.
Road in that film,
Yeah.
which is actually kind of an odd move. I almost wonder if they are blowing through a lot of the references because they aren't necessarily planning on sequelizing this.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, that could be it. I mean, but of course we were talking about it before the show that two characters that we didn't see in there were Yoshi
Hmm.
and Wario. And you think Wario, well, he could be the villain for Mario 2,
Hmm.
and then Yoshi might show up in there at some point.
Yeah, Yoshi. I don't know if that's an interesting one. Like that's because at this point Yoshi. It's funny. Okay, so I've been playing Mario from a young age.
Hmm.
Yoshi, although I think my first one I really played much was Super Mario World, but I knew that Yoshi was new to that game. So Yoshi still feels like the new character element
Yeah.
nearly 30 years later.
Hmm.
Or maybe it's 30, actually now it's actually 30 years later. Wow.
Wow, that's oof. Yeah.
But
Uh,
okay, so that's things we kind of liked.
hmm.
I think we both detected an element of girl bossing with Peach and an element of
Hmm.
Mario kind of being a complete joke.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I that is a trope or trend in modern movies that I am tired of.
Yeah, like it was one thing we noticed was like, or is like in this screenshot here, um, Peach is wearing her her riding outfit from the newer Mario Kart games, but she's carrying a pole arm as big as she is, bigger than she is.
Yeah.
Like you get the impression that like they're just trying to project strength with her.
Hmm.
Where Mario, he spends the entire trailer getting the crap beaten out of him by Donkey Kong, by by this big spinning thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the fireball one, but like the platformy one.
Yeah, and he's falling off the platforms, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I really hope okay. If he's incompetent in the beginning and then gets better, that's one
Yes.
thing. That I'm okay with, because that's character development. That's
Hmm.
building. But I mean, but if it's like where he's incompetent and then like he gets lucky, at the end, or Peach has to bail him out.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah, it's it's this weird thing I've noticed where so you have this established character, and the
Mhm.
established character, the fans like the established character, and you'd think that when you come out with a movie starring the established character, you'd want the established character to seem cool.
Yeah.
So far, they're playing Mario very much for laughs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's kind of the Chris Pratt elephant in the room.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know a lot of people aren't very happy with his rendition of Mario.
Yeah, so there's a certain percentage of that because people don't like what they think is politics, even though he never talks about politics
Hmm.
or his religion.
Yeah.
So, but I have, and so it's like I'm on the one hand, I'm inclined to kind of, you know, tribal up a little bit. But if
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
completely honest, it's not a great rendition of the Mario voice.
No, it's I think he's trying to be. I think he's trying to do a Brooklyn accent.
I almost wonder
Yeah.
if they are having him downplay it because like the bippity boopity Italian accent that he's been known for years because they don't want to be seen as offensive.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't want to be playing off of Italian stereotypes. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So he might be trying to do more New Yorker than Italian.
Hmm.
And it's just it just comes off as a bad imitation.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
He said,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and Holy Ninja says, yeah, it's Mario is new to the world, so but it's like, do you necessarily want to show all of the
Mm.
silly moments in the trailer?
No. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you think you'd show him like jumping off of a turtle shell and being cool or something?
Yeah. 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 It seems like Chris Pratt was told to not be energetic, which is the bad decision for Mario. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a okay, like, okay, time for a more quick one off.
Go
It's me, Mario.
ahead.
Let's go. So long, gay Bowser.
Yeah.
All right, so that is the easiest voice in the world to do.
Hmm.
There's barely an actor in Hollywood who used okay, you Super Mario now who could not do that Super Mario.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. It's me, Mario. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so yeah, it's easy to do. Anyone can do it.
Yeah.
And if you gave me a bunch of recording days, I would get better and better at it.
Hmm.
So I think it's 100% got to be a creative decision on behalf of the studio
Hmm.
or the director or whoever.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was a good one.
No, don't. Yeah, I don't think so. I think so. No, I think I agree with you. Yes. And of course, what gets me too is Nintendo is very protective of their properties,
Hmm.
and uh, from what I've heard, I believe Miyamoto is a consultant on the movie. So you would think with those two elements, Nintendo would be like, we don't want you humiliating our character, you know?
Right, and that's what I'm thinking. Is Nintendo about to switch off of that voice because they're tired of the occasional complaints?
Yeah, maybe.
Because we basically had the same Mario voice since well, technically there was some Mario typing game where he debuted, but Mario
Hmm.
64 is the one where everyone really met that voice.
Yeah,
Because if you go like the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, he did have that Brooklyn voice.
right. Yeah, yeah, and when Bob Hoskins played him in the live action movie,
Hmm.
he used his Eddie Valiant voice, the
Hmm.
gruff, New Yorker voice. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's an intentional choice, and it just
Mm,
baffles because everybody loves that version of Mario.
yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll find out in March. When the
Yeah,
movie comes out.
there'll probably be more trailers,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Like I know you said that you loved it, Ninja, but uh, I don't know. Like there's things that I see as warning signs.
Hmm.
On the other hand, what I'll say is that there are people who are complaining, oh, Peach isn't, Luigi is the damsel and Peach is helping to save him.
Yeah.
That isn't an awful choice because, um, from like a writing perspective, if you establish that these two brothers love and care about each other, and you take one of the brothers away and make him the thing, and the
Yeah.
local person is helping, the local people, like the local colorful characters are helping the outsider with this, then that makes
Yeah.
enough sense.
Yeah. 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 I can see that. Yeah. Yeah. It definitely makes more sense than just like if they pull Mario into the world and they're like, "Oh, we need you to save this princess." Like, I don't know who this. Why do I want to save a princess? I don't know. Yeah.
Well, now when you put it that way, that makes him sound more heroic. But if he doesn't actually have a dog in the race,
Well, yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, it's. I think we need more data.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But before we go angrily calling, oh, it's woke, bah, 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 or oh, it's a disgrace to the character, bah, 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 bah. Like I think it's going to be one of those things where we actually have to see it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I actually might go see this in the theater.
Yeah, this would be one I wouldn't be opposed to seeing.
Yeah.
The other thing is that if they paid for the money to swap out an entire Sonic character model,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
um, if they got enough bad feedback on the Chris Pratt voice, you know, to cut him another check and say, hey, we need to do some serious.
Re-recording. Yeah.
That wouldn't be that would be hard to work in, but it wouldn't be impossible to work in with 4 months to go.
Right. Yeah. Oh, hey, D Rhino. Good to see you.
But you can
And
just catch up on the replay.
yes,
I think we're just about done with this topic.
I think so too. Yeah. I don't think I have any